Tonight we're taking you on a journey through the stars, as we explore the stories of famous people who say they've had close encounters with visitors from other worlds. From rock stars to presidents, these celebrities have shared their alien experiences with the world. Each story takes place in different locations across America, from the bright lights of New York City to the quiet deserts of California. These aren't just made-up tales from Hollywood movies. These are real accounts from real people who put their reputations on the line to tell their stories. The history of UFO sightings by famous people goes back many decades. Throughout American history, celebrities have been willing to talk about things they've seen in the sky that they couldn't explain. Many of these stars have described seeing strange lights, unusual aircraft, and even beings from other planets. Some have faced criticism and jokes from the media, but they've stuck to their stories. Today, talking about UFOs is becoming more acceptable as the government releases new information about unidentified aerial phenomena. But these celebrities were talking about their experiences long before it became popular to do so. Number 10. Russell Crowe. Our journey begins with Academy Award-winning actor Russell Crowe. In 2013, the star of Gladiator and A Beautiful Mind shared something incredible on social media. He posted photos that he claimed showed UFOs flying over Sydney, Australia. Crowe was at his home when he noticed strange red lights moving across the sky in a pattern that didn't make sense. He grabbed his camera and took several pictures of the glowing objects. The lights appeared to be moving in formation, something no normal aircraft would do. When he shared the images online, many people tried to explain what he saw. Some said it might have been reflections in his window or boats in the nearby harbor. But Crowe defended his photos, saying his camera was on a balcony with no glass between him and the sky. He insisted what he captured was real and unexplained. The actor has always been interested in space and science, which makes his account even more interesting. He studied the objects carefully before deciding to share his experience with the world. Number 9. Miley Cyrus. Pop star Miley Cyrus had an encounter that changed how she thinks about life beyond Earth. She was driving through San Bernardino, California with a friend when something extraordinary happened. They were chased by what she described as a UFO that looked like a flying snowplow. The object had a big front section that glowed bright yellow and followed their car for several miles. Cyrus said the experience felt real and scary, not like something from a dream. What made her story even more incredible was her claim that she saw an alien inside the craft. She said the being looked right at her, and they made eye contact through the vehicle's window. This moment shook her deeply because she realized she was looking at something she couldn't understand. Her friend also saw the same object, which gave her confidence that the experience was real. Cyrus admitted she had been using substances at the time, but she insisted that didn't change what they both witnessed. The encounter left her thinking about whether humans are truly alone in the universe. Number 8. Nick Jonas. Former Jonas Brothers member Nick Jonas had his UFO experience right in his own backyard in Los Angeles. In 2007, when he was just a teenager, he was hanging out with a friend outside his family home. It was a normal evening until he looked up at the sky and saw something that amazed him. 3 flying saucers were hovering above them, moving in ways that regular aircraft couldn't. The objects were silent and seemed to be watching the area below. Jonas called to his friend to confirm he was seeing the same thing. Both young men watched the craft for several minutes before they disappeared. Later, Jonas went online to see if anyone else had reported similar sightings. He discovered that 3 other people had seen identical objects just 2 weeks earlier in the same area. The US Navy later claimed the lights were from a missile test, but Jonas wasn't convinced. He said the objects moved too strangely to be any kind of military equipment. The experience sparked a lifelong interest in UFOs and alien life. Jonas has continued to talk about the sighting in interviews, maintaining that what he saw was not from this world. Number 7. Post Malone. Hip-hop artist Post Malone has experienced multiple UFO sightings across the United States since he was 16 years old. His first encounter happened when he was staying with his aunt and uncle, who had strict bedtime rules. He was looking out his bedroom window with his cousin when they saw a bright light in the sky. The light stayed in one place for a long time, then suddenly shot across the sky in a way that seemed impossible. Both boys knew they were seeing something unusual because the object moved faster than any airplane could. Later in his life, when Post Malone was living in Tarzana, California, he had another encounter that convinced him aliens are real. He was outside his home when he noticed strange lights moving in patterns above his neighborhood. The objects seemed to be communicating with each other through their light displays. Post Malone has become very open about his belief in extraterrestrial life. He talks about his experiences on podcasts and in interviews, encouraging others to keep an open mind. His multiple sightings in different states make his accounts particularly interesting to UFO researchers. Number 6. Keisha. Pop star Keisha has had several alien encounters that have influenced her music and worldview. Her most famous sighting happened in Joshua Tree, California, a location known for UFO activity. She was completely sober and sitting on a rock in the desert when she saw multiple objects in the sky. The lights appeared to be fireballs that moved in formation across the night sky. Keisha counted 5 to 7 objects that changed their formation patterns as she watched. The singer was amazed by what she was seeing and tried to figure out what could explain the lights. When the objects disappeared, she thought the show was over, but they returned in a different arrangement. This convinced her that she was watching something intelligent and purposeful. The experience was so powerful that it influenced her album Rainbow, which includes a song called Spaceship. Since then, Keisha has tried to contact aliens through meditation and other spiritual practices. She encourages her friends and family to join her in attempting to communicate with extraterrestrial beings. Her openness about these experiences has made her a popular figure among UFO believers. Number 5. Demi Lovato. Singer and actress Demi Lovato has become one of the most vocal celebrities about UFO encounters. Her experience in Joshua Tree, California, involved seeing a blue orb that seemed to interact with her directly. The object was about 50 feet away and hovered 10 to 15 feet above the ground. Lovato said the orb maintained its distance as if it was studying her from afar. The blue light was unlike anything she had ever seen, and it moved with purpose and intelligence. She described the encounter as beautiful and life-changing, something that made her question everything she thought she knew about reality. The experience was so powerful that it led her to create a television series called Unidentified with Demi Lovato for the Peacock streaming service. In the show, she investigates UFO sightings and tries to make contact with extraterrestrial life. Lovato has also posted photos on social media that she claims show UFOs in the night sky. She believes these experiences have opened her mind to new possibilities about consciousness and life beyond Earth. Her public discussions about aliens have encouraged other celebrities to share their own stories. Number 4. Fran Drescher. Actress Fran Drescher, famous for her role in The Nanny, has one of the most incredible alien stories in Hollywood. She claims that both she and her ex-husband, Peter Mark Jacobson, were abducted by aliens before they even met each other. According to Drescher, they both had similar experiences while driving with their fathers years before their paths crossed. She believes the aliens programmed them to find each other and fall in love. Both Drescher and Jacobson have identical scars on their hands that they say came from alien implants. The actress thinks these devices were placed there during their abductions to track them throughout their lives. When they compared their stories after getting married, they realized the experiences happened around the same time in different locations. Drescher believes this was not a coincidence, but part of an alien plan to bring them together. Her ex-husband is more skeptical, thinking the scars might have come from accidents or medical procedures they've forgotten. But Drescher insists their meeting was orchestrated by extraterrestrial beings who wanted to study human relationships. She says the aliens programmed them to forget the real source of their scars to keep their experiment secret. Number 3. John Lennon. Beatles legend John Lennon had one of the most well-documented UFO sightings in celebrity history. On August 23, 1974, he was at his apartment in New York City when he saw something that changed his perspective on life beyond Earth. Lennon was on his balcony having a cigarette when he noticed strange lights flashing in the sky. He called for his girlfriend May Pang to come outside and confirm what he was seeing. Together, they watched a large circular object with white pulsating lights around its rim and a red light on top. The craft moved silently through the air just 2 or 3 stories above their building. It was so close that Lennon said he could have hit it with a brick if he had thrown one. The object crawled slowly past their balcony, then turned sideways and floated down the East River. They watched it hover above other buildings before it headed toward Brooklyn, and finally disappeared into the sky. Lennon was so excited about the sighting that he called the police, who told him several other people had reported the same object. He also tried to take photographs, but the pictures didn't turn out. The experience was so important to him that he wrote about it in the liner notes of his album, Walls and Bridges. He even referenced the sighting in his song, "Nobody Told Me," with the lyrics, "There's UFOs over New York, and I ain't too surprised." Number 2. Jimmy Carter. Former President Jimmy Carter has the distinction of being the only U.S. president to officially file a UFO report. His sighting occurred in January 1969, when he was preparing to give a speech at a Lions Club meeting in Leary, Georgia. Carter was waiting outside with about 20 other people, when someone pointed to a bright light in the western sky. The object was as bright as the moon and appeared about 30 degrees above the horizon. As they watched, the light began to change colors from blue to red to white, and back again. The object seemed to move toward them, then stopped beyond a stand of pine trees in the distance. Carter said it appeared to have no solid mass but glowed with its own internal light. The sighting lasted about 10 to 12 minutes before the object finally disappeared from view. All the witnesses agreed they had seen something they couldn't explain. In 1973, when Carter was governor of Georgia, he filed an official report with the International UFO Bureau describing the experience. During his 1976 presidential campaign, he promised to release all government information about UFOs if elected. However, after becoming president, he changed his mind, citing national security concerns. Carter has said he doesn't believe the object came from Mars, but he's never been able to explain what he and the other witnesses saw that night. The sighting made him more understanding of people who report UFO encounters. Number 1. Elvis Presley. The king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley, claimed to have connections to extraterrestrial life throughout his entire existence. According to reports, Elvis's relationship with aliens began even before he was born. When he entered the world in Tupelo, Mississippi, family members and the doctor who delivered him remember seeing an unexplained light beam over the Presley family home. This strange light appeared on the night of his birth and seemed to hover above their house for several minutes. When Elvis was 8 years old, he told people that aliens had visited him telepathically. He said they showed him visions of his future, including images of a man in a white suit singing to large crowds of people. This vision seemed to predict his later career as a performer who would become famous for wearing white jumpsuits. Throughout his adult life, Elvis reported seeing many UFOs, especially when he was traveling through desert areas at night. He and his hairstylist claimed to have seen a group of UFOs while driving through the desert, objects that moved too quickly to be regular aircraft. Elvis said the spacecraft seemed to be watching him during his travels. He believed these sightings were connected to the aliens who had visited him as a child. Some people think the stress of fame and his use of prescription medications might explain these experiences, but others believe Elvis truly had a special connection to beings from other worlds. His interest in UFOs and aliens influenced some of his music and performances. The combination of his fame and his alien claims has made Elvis one of the most famous celebrity UFO believers in history. These 10 celebrities have shared their most incredible experiences with the world, risking their reputations to tell their truth. From presidents to pop stars, their stories remind us that the universe might hold more mysteries than we can imagine. Whether you believe their accounts or think there are simpler explanations, these encounters have clearly had a lasting impact on the people who experienced them. Each story adds another piece to the growing collection of UFO sightings, reported by people from all walks of life. As our government releases more information about unidentified aerial phenomena, perhaps we'll finally get answers to the questions these celebrities have been asking for decades.